Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for, this is your March bonus reading is what I'm trying to say. We're just going to take a look and see what comes up. It's going to be a free flow reading. You have this halt. It says there's no money coming in, or money is coming in very slowly. And I feel like this is where you are coming from at this moment. And yep, we have the tower right here. So for some of you, there could be some sort of issue with your flow, or like how things are flowing into your life. And, I think there are plenty of solutions already that say this is how you can fix it. This would also be your past position as well. So I'm not too worried about this. And again, the reading is definitely getting more positive as we move forward here. So it looks to me, I'm going to take both of these because this second card kind of wanted to come off there as well. But it does look like you could be increasing your financial situation or figuring something out here. I do feel, it's kind of interesting. I just want to read this real quick. It does say this experience is meant to bring your attention to something, which is kind of what I was getting on this tower card as well, where if in the recent past or currently you're experiencing like a tightening of your budget, I do feel like it's saying like, hey, this is something you should pay attention to, but also there are ways to fix it. The tower falls for a reason. It's because things have been the same for too long. And I always say the tower always collapses so we can rebuild it stronger. And I feel like some of you could be trying to rebuild it stronger. I wonder, like for a small percentage of you, obviously this isn't going to be true for all of you, but it could be like you're going through a separation or a divorce, and that could be affecting your finances. You could have also experienced a job loss in the past, and obviously that would also be affecting your finances. It's kind of interesting with this King of Swords. I kind of feel like, it's like, I don't know how to say this, but, sometimes I think we just get into a zone where we think the world is against us. And I kind of get that energy here, where maybe you feel like there are certain things that are kind of causing these problems or in your life, because it's almost like unexplainable, right? It's like, I've definitely been there in my life, where I kind of thought like, I must be cursed or something like that, because it's like I'm trying everything that I possibly can try. Again, the good news is this is your past, so it looks like you're moving past this energy. With the King of Swords, you have this idealism card. Yeah, things, this idealism card basically says that things will never be perfect. And you just have to kind of roll with the punches, so to speak, and you just have to kind of like figure out how to improve your situation. But sometimes thinking idealistically can actually hold us back. So, I feel like your situation hasn't been ideal. With the Three of Swords, you have this patience card. I feel like you have been patient, and now your situation is turning around. To me, it looks like you are turning whatever this is around. For some of you, it could be a financial pinch that you've been in, obviously, with that card. For others, I feel it could be more, it could just be more, some sort of energetic pinch that you've been experiencing. And I feel like you've been patiently working to turn around. With the Tower, you have the restlessness card. Yes, sometimes I think restlessness can cause tower moments. So if you're feeling restless, I always suggest that people channel their restless energy into something. And I don't care if it's a puzzle, right? It could be anything. I find that if I'm restless, there's like something that needs to come out. So doing something creative, going for a walk, doing a puzzle, whatever. It's like those types of activities get us out of our head. And again, I think too many people think, oh, I have to work through this problem. But maybe work isn't the answer. Like, if you have no money, you might be thinking, I need to work to get money. And yes, that's true. But also to come up with a true solution, maybe it would be better, again, for you to go for a walk. Or maybe it would be better for you to do something creative. Because, in my life, I found that's like where my true answers come from. And I feel like some of you need that, need to channel your restless energy so that you can find like the real answers, if that makes sense. Next, you have this card that says, be careful who and what you are surrounding yourself with. I do feel that for some of you, there are some things that maybe you just can't do anymore, like certain TV shows you can't watch or whatever, because they kind of maybe affect your feelings. There might be certain things in the news or on YouTube even that you see that are affecting your feelings negatively. And I really, I've said this to everyone, that with, over the past like couple of years, that with Pluto going into Aquarius, it's like we have to choose what world we want to be a part of. There are like two worlds that are going to be existing. You can be part of the miserable all the time, worried about everything world, or you can be part of the world that is creating their own reality. And it's like you really have a choice at this time. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's like I think the thing that will happen with Pluto and Aquarius is it's like when cars first were invented, there's even like a famous Mercedes-Benz ad that said something like, there will never be more than 100 cars on the road, which obviously isn't true. And, but when cars were first invented, people were fighting to make sure that cars wouldn't be on the road, right? And I think we're going to see a lot of that with Pluto and Aquarius, where people are going to be fighting against things that are going to happen no matter what. And probably in the future, it will be a good thing. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. And I'm not saying you can't have your beliefs or anything like that, but I'm saying it's like, can you just look at things and say, how can this benefit me? It's like, I would rather be part of that world than the world that is worried about whatever the hell's, happening, right? You have the Queen of Wands, the Emperor, and the Ace of Pentacles, and this is why, right here, because there is a crap ton of opportunity. It's like one of the big ones. I get comments all the time about, AI and ChatGPT, people saying it's going to steal jobs and all this other stuff. I'm like, it might, but it's like stuff like this has happened before and throughout history, like the automation of farming, for example. That was a big thing, but it actually produced more jobs. It didn't produce less jobs, right? So it's like, this might actually, AI might actually have a significant impact on jobs, but it's like, what can you do about it? Can you use the tool as an opportunity to start your YouTube channel, to get a bunch of ideas for like what to do, right? And let me tell you something, it's far from perfect. I've been screwing around with it for over a year now, and it is not perfect. It has plenty of mistakes, right? They're coming out with a new version that's supposed to be way better ChatGPT, but at the same time, it's far from perfect. And as I have been saying for like months now, it cannot have human experience. So it's like one thing you can do is have experiences, but also it's like, how can you use it to your advantage right now? Right? But this goes for other things that are entering into your life with the Ace of Pentacles. Like I see that there could be a lot of opportunity, but you're going to have to, it's almost like this reading, you're the only sign that has had anything like this. It's like this reading to me is saying that there is a world that you need to become a part of, and it's like a good world. It's not a bad world, right? You have the Emperor here. You have to take action to be part of this world, and even the Queen of Wands says the same thing. So I feel like you have to take action, and you're going to have to like experiment as well to maybe find your place in the new world. The Queen of Wands, she to me represents being bold, being confident, really going for what you want. To me, she is a card of needing to do those things. Like that is the action that you should take, is being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. But she also learns as she goes. She's not perfect, and she knows sometimes that if she's like starting a business or, getting into something new, that she might not know all the answers, but she's willing to learn. And so I feel like being willing to learn is obviously going to lead to a lot of success for you here, Sag. So let's see where this is going. With the Queen of Wands, you have this isolation card. I feel like some of you feel isolated, and it is like I feel this. I'm a Pisces. I'm only a Sag midheaven. That's it. That's the only Sagittarius I have in my chart, and so it's very interesting because I kind of feel I've been feeling this energy for a couple weeks where it is almost like this isolating feeling. I can't really describe it, but I don't think it's isolation. I think that it's expansion. I think that there is empty space that needs to be filled with our energy, which could be you creating something new. Could be you getting into a new relationship. That could be filling space as well. Could be whatever it is that you want. But it's like, I think the isolation we're feeling is just the not having created our place in this new world. So, I hope that makes sense. With the Emperor here, you have this Principles card. I've been saying this a lot to people that we have Neptune and Pisces as well. Neptune and Pisces is a challenge to traditional belief. So if there are any things that you have believed for a long time, like for your whole entire life, do you still need to believe those things? I used the example in a video the other day where I was saying like, I was raised to always be early to things. My grandfather, my father, they're both like obsessed with being early to things, like early to work, early to, an appointment or whatever, right? But I've noticed in my own life that it's like created anxiety. Like if I'm not like 30 minutes early to something, I get anxious, which is ridiculous, right? Not only that, it's created like this anticipation anxiety where it's like before I even have to go do something, I feel anxious. Like, even because I want to be 30 minutes early, 30 minutes, before, if it's like 10 minutes before that, like starting like 10, 20 minutes earlier than that, I start getting anxious. I'm like, oh, I got to get ready to go. And it's created like this whole thing in my life, right? And I'm like, is it necessary? Is that a rule that that really has to be followed. Who says I have to be 30 minutes early, right? It's like, isn't like 5 minutes early, isn't that good enough? So what I would say is, are there rules in your life that you follow that really just don't serve you, right? It does not serve me. Is it good to be early? Sure. But 30 minutes early, 20 minutes early, 10 minutes early, it's like, what's the rule? and why? Why? You know what I mean? Is like being on time enough? Is being 5 minutes, that would be good enough, right? So it's like, what's the rule? Are there rules that you believe that are holding you back? And again, this goes both ways with Neptune and Pisces. There might be rules that are good rules that you say, I want to double down on this. I want to do more of whatever this principle is because it'll make you more successful. You go up to the sun. So there you go. With the Ace of Pentacles, are you kidding me? You have the adaptability card, literally saying you have to adapt to the situations. That's what I was getting. I was just using AI as an example because that's a big one, right? It's coming for all of us, right? But what I would say here is that being adaptable, learning how to use the tools is what's going to make you the most successful. So, definitely use that. And, people have left me comments when I say this as well. They're like, yeah, but everybody has access to the tool. I'm like, yeah, but the tool is only as good and as strong as the person who's using it. So it's like, yeah, we all have access to Chat GPT for the most part, right? But it's like you have to feed it the correct information. So again, learning how to use it, like I have been doing for a while, that was weird. Something, I don't even know what that was there, Sagittarius, but whatever. But it's like, it's only as good. So you have to learn how to use these things. But this goes for other things in life as well. Like I said, I'm just using that as an example. Next, you have this card that says, a close friend acts on your behalf. For some of you, there could be a person who's protecting you from something, actually. I do see that. I also feel like there could be a person in your life who's like a mentor, who really provides some good information. You have the Sun, the Hierophant, and the Nine of Wands. The Hierophant can represent education, but sometimes, not always, but sometimes I look at him as a mentor. He kind of really represents a person who is like the bridge between the heavens and the earth. And he's also initiating, normally, the two people who are in front of him. He represents initiation, basically initiation, apprenticeship, and mastery, the 3 stages of mastery. And, but sometimes I feel like he can be a person who is a mentor who helps you in life. And I do feel, obviously, based off of that first card, that there could be a mentor in your life. You even have the Lovers, which doesn't have to be love. This could just be a strong relationship in your life, and it would be a person who maybe has some ideas for you. And I really feel that. You have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands, of course, is a card of boundaries, and so there could be a person who is almost like protecting you at this time. But the Nine of Wands is my card of experimentation. I'm a big fan of experimenting right now, obviously, so I would be trying new things, but there could be a person, I kind of feel, who has an idea for you, maybe in work, maybe in business, looks financial to me, and it could just be the thing that really gets you out of if you're in this financial pinch. I feel like it could be the thing that helps you. You have the Sun, so clearly your life is improving. Again, that first row, not great. So again, some of you have been pinched off from something. That's really the energy that I'm getting. But again, I feel like there are major improvements coming in for you right now, probably right now. So I would be, putting the work in to use those improvements to improve your life or whatever the case may be. So let's see what is going on here. With the Sun, you have this resourcefulness card. Yeah, we are in a time of resourcefulness. I keep telling people that like the financial situation is not going to necessarily be improving until like 2028, probably really 2032, 2033, somewhere around there. That does not mean that you cannot make money. That does not mean that you can't get really successful at this time as well. I think we will see probably like more billionaires than ever being created during this period of time, right? But you're going to have to put your thinking cap on. You're going to have to be resourceful as well. And I've been talking about this for weeks, literally, months, years probably, that I think we need to be super resourceful. Like if we're starting a business, we shouldn't be thinking money. We should be thinking like, how can I do this without money? We should be thinking, how can I use someone else's money? How can I use my brain to make this happen? When we have a business, we should be thinking about like, how can I promote this the best way possible for free? Again, we have Pluto and Aquarius going into Aquarius this month. Literally says, how can you get as much positive attention, the Sun, on whatever it is that you're working on? Like that's going to be your best resource, especially for those of you in business. But if you want love, how can you get as much positive attention as you possibly can in love to attract like the right partner? And that's the only thing I would be focusing on, right? Literally, there's no point in me doing readings, as I have been saying. Like I've been joking about this for like 2 years now, but seriously, like if there was like, if you could only take one thing away from my readings, it would be how could I get as much positive attention and how can I inspire as many people as possible through changing my life? That's the only thing I would be focusing on. This is true for everyone. That's what I'd be doing. With the Hierophant, you have the Independence card. I feel like you could be getting some information that makes you more independent as well. So it's like if you're improving your life or if someone's helping you improve your life, it could be making you more financially independent, whatever the case may be. With the Nine of Wands, you have this inspiration card. Hello. Like, what did I just say? Be an inspiration, right? I'm telling you right now, it's like you're going to get karma times a million if you inspire people to be more successful or to change their life, or if you do something hard in your life as well. All those things. Next, you have this Submarine card. It says diving deep, unraveling the subconscious. They both kind of want to come out together. That's why I chose the second one as well. It says Sandcastle, everything is temporary, divine timing. Yes, things are improving. If you're wondering why haven't things happened for me, as quickly as everybody else, I think that divine timing is definitely at play. You have the Lovers, the Nine of Swords, and the Temperance card. Your card showing up here, very strong. This puts you in a very strong position. And again, the Temperance card is about turning a negative into a positive. You can also go the other direction. You can turn a positive into a negative as well. But, I would say, turn a negative into a positive with the Temperance. It's like you're turning your situation around. You have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords, I always say, is a choice. You can choose to be the bug or the windshield with the Nine of Swords, and so I would choose positivity with the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords also can kind of represent leaving a comfort zone. Normally the person on the Nine of Swords has a blanket over their waist, basically, or their legs, right? And it kind of represents a comfort blanket, but it says is comfort the thing that is preventing you from becoming very successful? You have the Lovers as well. So I do feel like there could be a love opportunity coming in for you if you want love. Could be, I'm just looking around here, you have like a lot of Taurus, air, you have basically everything showing up here. But Taurus really stands out to me for some reason. But again, it could be any sign. But if you're looking for love, I feel it could be a Gemini as well. But there could be love coming in for you with the Lovers card. It's not like a very significant connection is kind of like what I'm feeling here. So let's see what we have going on for you. With the Lovers, you have the Detachment card. Everybody's had this card, which is weird. There's like a million cards in this deck. So, I feel like this is saying detaching from outcomes is going to lead to the most success. Like no expectations, right? With the Nine of Swords, you have this Discrimination card. This is like a card of discernment, not like discrimination like we think about it. So it says you've learned like what things in your life work and you've learned what things in your life don't work. And, I feel like you need to put more energy or more emphasis on the things that do work in your life and kind of remove yourself from the things that don't work, obviously. I know that sounds obvious, but still. With the Temperance card, you have the Submission card. This is a card of like escaping from prison. You can see this bird here. It's in a cage, but the cage door is open right here. It could easily remove itself from a situation. So I feel for a lot of you, again, this looks like a turnaround to me. I feel like you could be improving like some sort of financial pinch situation this week or, whatever the situation is going on here. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. You have this card that says chain of events that will affect your life, probably the Tower. Again, the Tower's come up again for almost everybody this week, and I've used multiple different decks for these readings, so super interesting to me. I feel like we could see a global Tower moment, like a world leader stepping down, like I've said the last time that happened, or something similar, so wouldn't really surprise me. We're going to see a lot of this with Pluto and Aquarius. Again, this is not even, like I'm cheating. People think I'm predicting this stuff, which I, kind of have predicted a lot of this stuff, but at the same time, I mean, Pluto and Aquarius is literally going from Capricorn to Aquarius is the breakdown of structure. So it's like, anything that's been established for a long time that is outdated, we could be seeing those things going away. So, there you go. You have this Vine card. It says seek out information that will help you. I'm a big fan of learning right now. I always say we have to move a lot of dirt to get to the gold, but the people that learn right now are going to be very successful. You have this July card, and you have this card that says time to go out and have fun. I feel like this is saying, like, if you've been, number one, if, like, since this last summer, you've been home doing nothing, I would make sure to have more fun. A lot of people have been getting these messages of needing to have fun. And I feel like it's because we need to get out of our heads. We could be worrying too much. And when we worry, we just attract more things to worry about. So I feel like you need more fun. I also do feel that if you're working on anything right now, that it could really kind of start to develop a mind of its own in July this year coming. And I mean that in a good way. It's like sometimes we build a business, but then, and I think you're going to be successful before July, but I feel like it's saying like once July comes around, it'll really kind of get going. You have this cracked cup. It says dissatisfaction with life. I was talking about this somewhere in here, and I don't really remember where, but I do feel that for you, where it's like some of you just like a little bit of disappointment about like the way things are going, but I think you have the power to change that, so I change it. And finally, you have this wheel. It says indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. So again, I would start putting work into things that you're feeling guided to do. But pretty good reading here and definitely a turnaround. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.